Finally, Brightline is on the fast track.
It's Terry. That's well said. So this little 5 to 7 minute segment is intended for really a couple people. For anybody new that is contacting our firm between now and probably the end of March. I'm filming this in the middle of January 2023. I'm working with my longtime friend Terry Kurtz. And also to our existing clients that we have about 100 existing clients that we service. And we have about 1,500 people that receive excerpts from the Bradco Ideas Report, so we're going to send to them. So let me kind of start for those that all know the high desert region. We call it the Mojave River Valley. I'm going to give an update on Brightline, the speed train, which originally was a maglev, and where we are. So let's pretend we're on Interstate 15. We're driving up to the top of the Cajon Pass, and we're going to hit the city of Hesperia. So I'm going to hit a couple big highlights. The Silverwood project in southeast Hesperia is full-blown speed. Just had lunch with John Ohanian. They've moved 10 million cubic yards of dirt. They are now working on the bridge that will connect the model complex. So Silverwood Parkway that you'll take south of Rancho and I will take you about 2 miles to get down to where the model complex is. They are hoping to have the model complex open by May of 2024. They have interviewed 6 national builders so far. They have 2 more that they're going to build, that they're going to interview, and they will hopefully have that done within probably the next 90 days. So that project's moving full speed ahead. I know the rains that we've recently had, which are good, probably have set them back a little bit. But after 40 years of it was Rancho Las Flores and then Tapestry and now it's Silverwood. So that project's moving forward. Ranchero Road is widening. That's a $50 million investment between 7th Street, 7th Avenue, and I-15. So they've got a portion of the county they've got to go through. They've got to work to get over the aqueduct. So that's about $50 million bucks. And then John Ohanian and his group is responsible for, I think it's about an $8 million improvement from I Avenue to 7th, and then the city takes over from there. Then on I-15, you have the project that Sully Miller again's been awarded. It's a $125 million project. It not only includes widening, but rebuilding the entire freeway to be a 50-year freeway. So while it's going to take another probably 20 months in order to get it completed, it's going to be a nice stretch. So they're doing shoulder work and now concrete and all that for 9.9 miles each way. But as you peel off on Highway 395 and you look on the left-hand side, you'll see 232-acre piece of property that was entitled by Mark Milikovich and his partner Ken Shear of Covington Capital. They spun off the one piece to Modway, which built a little bit over 1 million square foot building. That is now complete. You can see it looks great. And then next door are 2 buildings. One's being built by Exeter and one is being built by Covington Capital as spec buildings. They're both more than 1 million square feet. They have a little 11 acres silver out in front that I hope that they'll build some small product on. And just on the other side of that, when you get to 395 and where the Pilot Travel Center is, which we're proud, we did that deal for George Newton many years ago. Just north of that, between 395, between the fork or the V, so you got I-15 on the east and 395. As you go on up all the way up to the California Aqueduct on up there, there's about 12 million square feet of industrial in the process of development approvals, EIRs, and all that. The city is very supportive of it. I know that Ken Shear and his partners have got a couple million feet that they're going to build up there in the northwest corner. So you're going to see just in that corridor alone, Terry, you're going to see between what Ken and Ken Shear and Mark are doing in the California Aqueduct on 395 and the other developers, you'll see about 13 million feet coming in. Really spectacular. And these are all companies that they're all very committed. The balance, the big target center that Lewis built is they continue to add on to that, and they will do well. The Texas Roadhouse that we represent the pads next to it, that is in the top 10 of the restaurants for Texas Roadhouse out of 600 worldwide. So I take my hat off to Steve Ortiz and Steve Ortiz Jr. and their project manager, Steve Durler. We're working on a couple hotels. We haven't found the right combo yet. We think that as the Brightline it gets probably a little bit closer to funding, I think that you'll have people crawling all over. We did get an approval from Hyatt House with Hyatt to build a Hyatt House there, which is pretty spectacular. Up in Atlanta, if you go 395, Atlanta continues to grow. They're bringing in over $4 million a year in taxes out of the cultivation zone. They have built well over 2.5 million square feet of new industrial product, pretty much towards the cannabis industry. And then on the east side of Atlanta, you've got a big chunk of property. There was 398 acres that was owned by Dave Maliski and his son, and they picked up another 110. So they're laying out 9 1 million square foot buildings, and they've gotten some pretty good activity. And then literally right across the street where SCLA is, you had where Dougal Agan and his partner Chris Downey and Brian Parner, their vice president and project manager, where they built 5 million feet of Class A LEED certified industrial space. The balance of that property that is no longer controlled by Sterling has been bought out by Prologis. So you've got Kim Snyder and his senior project manager, senior vice president Tyson Chaves that oversee that. Prologis is just not your everyday developer. They recently bought out Duke, 160 million square feet of space for a couple $1 billion. They have over 1 billion square feet and 6,000 clients nationally, worldwide, 19 countries. So just the attention that they can bring to SCLA, the runway we've got out there, it's the second largest runway in North America. You've got, now you've got a brand new Amazon building that has been completed, although will not be probably occupied for another year. You got Mars, their pet division they just built. You got Iron Mountain, they came on in there. So, and then just to the west of that, in the kind of the northern portion of Atlanta, you've got kind of an industrial play that's taken place, just kind of west of the area where the bases. I think one of the issues there has been power. So power is becoming an issue for the industrial developers, and they're having to do some horse trading. So some of that property will be now charged by a big solar facility that's built in the northwest part of town. So things are real solid there. And then retail continues to go into Victorville. CarMax is under construction. And then when you get into Apple Valley in that north part, I think the town was very smart. I think the council was very smart. The planning commission was very smart years ago. It took them a while to do it, to pre-plan that industrial corridor. Specific plan has quite a bit of acreage on up there. The challenge that they have is they have some infrastructure issues, but they're bringing the developers together, and eventually that's going to take off. There's been big lots opened up, 1,350,000 square foot facility over 2 years ago next to the Walmart. The Walmart distribution center is 1.2 million. That's the busiest Walmart distribution center in the country. So that says something about our region on up here. I hear that Sprouts is coming to town out in Apple Valley in the south side with the Raising Cane's over there on Bear Valley Road. Amazon is going to probably come in with a couple grocery stores up here. I think one in Hesperia and one in Victorville. So the retailers are taking a look, and then you got to Barstow, and you look at what Barstow has done. And I take my hat off to the council and the city manager Willie Hopkins and his great staff, Chris Heldreth and Cody and Brad Merrill. They've worked for years in conjunction with Burlington Northern Santa Fe, a Berkshire Hathaway company, on a 4,500 acre interport that will be now developed. They announced that at their 75th anniversary on October 1st. Little investment of $1.5 billion. Yes, that's with a B. 20,000 jobs, direct and indirect. So you're thinking, wow, it's pretty exciting. So we're starting to see the initial areas where people are starting to speculate and get on out there. We were able to just close for a client of ours, just a great home builder. I won't mention his name, but he finally closed on 36 acres out there on Rimrock for 147 homes. And as soon as interest rates can come down, because it's an interest rate sensitive environment, he'll break ground. And hopefully that'll be of really help, I think, the local real estate group out there. There's a lot of great real estate agents that service the Barstow. But I think now when you take a look at, you got Silverwood over here and you got the industrial market, I believe, Terry, that we have about 30 million square feet being planned within the market on that here. We are currently working on something that's probably 1,000,003 square feet. Take about a year to go through the entitlement process. But I think the biggest advancement over the longest period of time has been from the day that we all heard about a speed train, and originally it was going to be a maglev train, and it was going to go from Anaheim at Disneyland all the way on out here. So for anybody that does not believe that Brightline is going to happen, I'll give you a couple facts. That's an $8 billion project. All of the approvals have been obtained. So they've got the approvals through the Railroad Administration. They've got the EIR with the city of Ranch Cucamonga. They've come to an agreement with San Bernardino County Transportation Authority and some property that adjoins the Milliken Metrolink station. So you're going to be able to come from Union Station on a train, Metrolink, out to Ranch Cucamonga, go into a really nice building. I mean, with escalators. I mean, and places to seat, and probably get some good food and things like that, and be able to get on this speed train. They'll take you a little bit over 2 hours to get to Las Vegas. I'll make a stop depending upon who's on there. There'll be a stop in Hesperia. That stop will be right where I-15 and 395 come together. Caltrans owns some property right there in the V, just south of where Greg Love and Love's Trucking, Love's Travel Centers is proposing to do a facility. Then one in Apple Valley at the southeast corner of Dale Evans and I-15, and then ultimately there are 110 acres that they bought for $140 million in Vegas. They'll build a 65,000 square foot facility for people to disembark. When you get to Ranch Cucamonga, or let's say you're coming the reverse, you're going to be able to tell them, if you're going north to Vegas, what hotel that you want your luggage to be at, and your luggage will then be taken for a little additional charge to your hotel. They will have their own transportation there to get you to those hotels. So it's all about the concierge service. I think that they're going to offer a concierge service that is going to be on steroids. Well, people like to be able to go to a concierge and ask a question and make that reservation for dinner or whatever. Well, I think that what Brightline's trying to do is take this and take service to a brand new level. And so they'll start. They believe that their original projection says that there's 50 million people that go to Vegas every year. They believe that they're going to be able to capture 5.6 million of those people for a ride the first year by 2035. So it's a 4-year build out. So if they start by the end of the year, which I really do believe that they're going to, and it's going to create 40,000 jobs, Terry. I mean, that's mind-boggling. I mean, I don't know where we're going to house them, but they'll definitely figure out where they're going to house them. It was a question I asked because as a trustee at Victor Valley College, you're kind of concerned. $8 billion be done in 4 years. By 2035, they'll move about 11 million people a year. So the numbers are absolutely staggering. I take my hat off to the people at Brightline. I recently said to Deb, I think that we're going to go down to Miami. They have a speed train that goes from Miami to West Palm Beach. That runs all the time. They've been very successful with it. They have the tracks that are done now between Miami and Orlando, and they're testing their trains right now. A little side note, Ray Wolf was talking about that they are very close to bringing over a train that's being tested somewhere over, I think, in France or Germany, that will be self-run. The train will self-run, very, very similar to what we see. I mean, if you go to Las Vegas and you get on the tram that's above the ground, that's all self-run, and a lot of trains are. So that's really exciting. I think when you sit here and say to yourself, I'm 66, what is it going to look like 10 years from now when somebody's going to be able to get on there, on a Friday afternoon in Ranch Cucamonga, and in a little bit over 2 hours, be in Las Vegas? These trains, they glide. They want to be sure you don't spill anything, so they're going to have full cocktail service. They're going to have food service. They really have thought about everything. It's pretty exciting. I think it's exciting for the next couple of generations of people in real estate. You know, guys like me, we've done okay. It's not really our turn anymore. I think our turn is to really encourage younger people to get involved in the game, and really hopefully work on some good planning. So, you know, with the explosive growth, Terry, that we're going to see out here, I just got done finding a book that I've had. It was called the Victor Valley Infrastructure Study. It was done by San Bernardino County. It was commissioned by the First District Supervisor John Joyner back in 1989. We sent it out to 5 city managers. I'll be delivering that book to Keith Metzler here in the next week. Hopefully him and his staff will be able to make a copy of it. And I think if anything, hopefully the Valley will not only really embrace this kind of growth, but say, okay, what do we need to do to be sure that, you know, all of the residents within the region accept this, want to build on this growth, so that, you know, let's get out in front. You know, Victor Valley Community College, where I'm proud to be a trustee, I just won my 4th election. We want to be sure we can do anything we can to train and educate people. So I'm hoping that the cities will hopefully work together, you know, because if we don't, then the growth will stop. You get the slow growth movements. You get I call them the soccer moms and the soccer dads. They're actually soccer dads and the soccer moms. And I just think that the projects that we see now will hopefully raise the bar in this region and really ultimately set us apart. So I'm pleased to be able to do this. I hope people enjoy this. We'll probably be doing an update the beginning of every quarter, I think. But this will go out to prospective new clients. I mean, we're the longest standing full service commercial broker up here. We've done about $900 million in sales. I'm a CCI and an SIOR. I'm very proud of what we do and how we do. I'm very proud of our team. We are no longer the largest, don't want to be anymore. We have other things that we're really kind of concentrating on, but I think it's important for people to know what's going to go on, and then we can share our knowledge. And if somebody else has their broker, God bless you, we wish you well. We want to just see good, clean competition. We want to see everybody do well, and we want to see everybody's lives increase by the standard of living that they have up here.